Hello, dear friends. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is news time again from this very good channel. Welcome back. How are you all doing? Hope you're good. I pray that God will be with you in your endeavors. Today, we have another update for you. And I want you to, after listening to it, you drop your opinion and suggestions you have so that Biafra will be free. And that's just it. Okay, let's go there.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining me in this video. Today is Thursday, May 29, 2025. All right, this is the outcome of the court proceeding that is still going on. Yesterday, remember that Justice James Omotosho initiated trial within trial to determine who is lying between the DSS, that is the federal government, versus Nnamdi Kanu. Is it the Nnamdi Kanu that is lying, or is it the federal government that are lying with their mass witnesses? Because the issue of the interview they granted Nnamdi Kanu, that was their major evidence. That kind of evidence, you can't counter it, because this is what you say, what you said before, this is what you wrote before. So after editing the video, they presented it before the court that Nnamdi Kanu agreed to grant interview. They gave him bottled water. He was smiling while he was granting interview. He did not request for lawyer. After the whole bulabalo, Nnamdi Kanu said that is not what happened. And see where God punished that mass witness that is always lying against Nnamdi Kanu to Justice James Omotosho. The mass witness said that they have a video to prove Nnamdi Kanu wrong, that Nnamdi Kanu is telling lies. Imagine. And one will be thinking, what has Nnamdi Kanu done to deserve all this ill treatment? I believe these people must have been paid to lie to court. It's a prejudice. I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a judge, but you see, coming to court to lie is no good. Now, they played the video, and Justice James Omotosho was shaking his head because he can listen to Nnamdi Kanu. That's why the video has been edited. He can listen to Nnamdi Kanu saying it 3 times. I need my lawyer. This is the 3rd time you are interviewing me. The law says I need my lawyer, that I am entitled to my lawyer. You know how Nnamdi Kanu speaks now, with boldness, standing on his right. Nnamdi Kanu went forward to say, even though you point gun on my head, I will say the truth. I started leading campaign against Boko Haram in London. So what I am doing is not terrorism. I just need my lawyer before I can start granting interview. And one could imagine these DSS mass witnesses, are they insane? Or even though you edited the video, can't you see what is in the video for you not to lie to judge? So after the whole did and done, the case was adjourned till today, and Justice James Omotosho has just ruled in a very crucial ruling that will affect this case. However, as I said before, everything I'm saying in this video is my opinion. So I am entitled to my opinion. I am not a lawyer. But Justice James Omotosho has now ruled. The court rejects all DSS video evidence against Nnamdi Kanu, declare it inadmissible, that it can never be admitted in court because that video proves that what Nnamdi Kanu is saying is right, not what they are saying. This is a major ruling because if the court had admitted the evidence, to counter such evidence is difficult. It's not like the one they came, they said Nnamdi Kanu asked people to burn buses and they asked them to bring the plate number of the buses to prove all those things. They were unable to prove it. But if courts, for example, admitted what Nnamdi Kanu said as true, it means that Nnamdi Kanu has crucified himself. But thank God that the DSS, they were lying, and everything they have been presenting in court is lies upon lies. They lie against Hope Uzodinma, that Hope Uzodinma said that it is IPOB and Nnamdi Kanu that are killing people in Imo. So they brought the video of Hope Uzodinma to play for them again. They were confused when Hope Uzodinma was saying that this killing in Imo State is not from IPOB, it is from politicians because they are targeting only APC members. So this is interesting. Now, in a major ruling during the trial within trial, the court has dismissed all video and written statements presented by the DSS as evidence against Nnamdi Kanu. This is the 3rd blow since this court case, started. The first one is that DSS has admitted that they did not find anything incriminating against Nnamdi Kanu when they arrested him. That they only discover radio broadcasting equipment, as they said, laptop and his phone and watch. So does that incriminate somebody? Absolutely no. The judge now, Justice James Omotosho, has declared the footage of Kanu's alleged statement null and void, rendering it irrelevant to the case. This decision deals a significant blow to the prosecution's case. Just like I said before, yes, we want the truth. Nnamdi Kanu have been saying this in court. I am not afraid to face the trial. Just that the judge handling it before was biased. Things was not going in order. How can you subject someone to solitary confinement, beat the person he was bleeding? And let me just tell you what this means. As the judge as I said before, this is my opinion. As the judge we discovered that these people are lying, meaning what Nnamdi Kanu said is true, because this is a court of law. It's either one is right or one is wrong, because there are two parties. So if the DSS officials are lying, according to the video that was played, and of which it means they are lying, because what they said is different from the video evidence they brought to court. It's not like it's the Nnamdi Kanu that brought the video, or Nnamdi Kanu's negative that brought the video. It was they themselves that also brought the video that crucified them. So this is the situation that is going on there. So it means that these people have been lying. And this is what we have been saying since, that this thing is not true, that everything these people have been doing, they are just doing it for some reasons, not because of the major case that yes, Nnamdi Kanu committed everything, they are leveling against him. By the way, it was treasonable felony they started with. You know what treason means, right? You know what treason means. So treason is like when you are convicted, it's a death sentence or life imprisonment. But the court quashed all those things and so on and so forth. Now, the Supreme Court judgment that returned Nnamdi Kanu to Federal High Court, I don't really know if these DSS officials, if they went through the court this thing, because all these shenanigans they are doing, the Supreme Court had already condemned it, that Nnamdi Kanu was brought into Nigeria illegally. He was treated unfairly. The Supreme Court has already, passed through all these things. This is just a matter of wasting our precious time. Supreme Court has already, condemned both invasion of his house, how he was treated, how they beat it. Go and read that Supreme Court statement. Go and read it. And that is why most of the time I always, play the video of Dan Onase when he granted interview on AIT, because he explained in details what the Supreme Court judgment affirmed. That even he was surprised that Supreme Court even sent them back to Federal High Court again after exonerating Nnamdi Kanu from all charges, blaming the federal government. And that is the same thing the DSS are now doing. For what? Anyway, take a listen again to what Dan Onase said. Let us keep watching how this case is going. We are not saying anything. We are not the judge. It's the judge that have the final say. But we are just updating you on how this case is going. Stay with me.
So, if anybody, when Nigerian citizens see the details of the Supreme Court statement today, they will marvel at how, after saying all these illegalities that the federal government and their security agencies committed, all they had to do was that the primary court said, the appeal court said that the primary court had no jurisdiction. So they condemned the appeal court for taking that decision. Therefore, because the primary court had jurisdiction, the case should go back to them. So if in all these atrocities they committed, they had killed Nnamdi Kanu, what will be the basis of the primary court and its jurisdiction? What will be the basis of it? When I studied, I talked about judicial rascality. So what it empowers is security rascality. Because you cannot tell other police, army, navy, air force, condemn them plainly, and then you exonerate them. So you give them license to kill Nigerians, just like they are doing in Plateau, killing people. They are doing in Benue. Herdsmen are killing people. But you haven't had any person in this country condemn the herdsmen of Nigeria for killing hundreds of thousands of Nigerians. You haven't had them condemn the killings in southern Kaduna. So the security agencies are being encouraged to recklessness. And recklessness not about spoken word. Recklessness with gun, killing Nigerian citizens. So, if anybody, when Nigerian citizens see the details of the Supreme Court statement today, they will marvel at how, after saying all these illegalities that the federal government and their security agencies committed, all they had to do was that the primary court said, the appeal court said that the primary court had no jurisdiction. So they condemned the appeal court for taking that decision. Therefore, because the primary court had jurisdiction, the case should go back to them. So if in all these atrocities they committed, they had killed Nnamdi Kanu, what will be the basis of the primary court and its jurisdiction? What will be the basis of it? And look at the whole panel, about 7 judges, not one Igbo man, not one person from the southeast, not one person from the south. So it's a contrived business to put that boy, to put him behind bar. And we have been asking that they should turn him to Kuje prison. They refuse. Why wouldn't they allow him to go to Kuje prison? Why keep him at the DSS? Why? So it shows you that Nigeria is not interested in fighting insecurity. Because if they were interested and they love this country, they would have seen that Nnamdi Kanu is a major instrument that will bring security. Southeast will be a beginning. The other parts of the country would have been a follow-up. So it's unfortunate that you condemn security forces for the crimes they commit and you exonerate them by keeping Nnamdi Kanu there and asking that we go back again, to start case from, Federal High Court Abuja. What actually is the sin of Nnamdi Kanu? Asking for justice for everything. That's what he's saying. That the Southeast has been completely, excommunicated from everything that happens in this country. So we pray that this young man, I don't know whether you have had the privilege to speak with him, one of the most brilliant young men you can ever come across. Not only is he brilliant, but well spoken. Why this country shows you that we have no values. Can you imagine a boy that a whole zone respects? A whole zone respects him. Who else, apart from M.I. Opara in those days and Dr. Nnamdi, they don't have as much respect as this young man. That would have been an advantage for Tinubu and his government with the National Security Advisor to say, look, how do we seriously start to curb this insecurity in the country? If this boy is so loved by his people, why don't we sit him down and discuss with him, know where he's coming from? If there are things he's agitating against we can solve, we'll start doing something. And look at Northwest and Northeast. Look at where the country is today. Everywhere is war, killing people. Killing is no more, it's an admirable, concept in Nigeria now. Any day nobody is killed, you don't hear it, then it's abnormal. But in a normal day, hundreds killed in herdsmen in Plano Plateau, in southern Kaduna, in the southeast, then not to talk of the bandits and Boko Haram in northeast and northwest. That one is a daily occurrence, killing hundreds of them. We're a country without statistics. If we have good statistics, people will riot to know the number of Nigerians who are dying. Every town now, in all parts of the country, people are burying people. People go to bed, they won't wake up. So it's all cumulative effect of total insecurity. Probably you do work somewhere, nobody pays you. You are working for somebody, you are not paid. You go to bed, you are thinking of what you will tell your wife in the morning. You can't pay school fees. The man goes to bed and won't wake up. And will say, God, please take my life. Why am I living? When a man cannot take care of his immediate family, what life is it anymore? And you don't want people to react. Young men leave school, no work. And they see somebody who rigged an election and goes to Abuja and he buys a armored plated jeep for 160 million and you want him to go and sleep. His parents sell their property to train our young men and women, and they come out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. They can't say good morning, thank you to their parents. They will look at their parents without any hope of tomorrow. Parents who have trained their children, we should have hope that their children should get back to take care of them. But it's not the case in Nigeria. And we don't have our legislators are not interested. Executive all over the place are not interested. So I don't know how this problem will be sorted out. I normally find it very difficult to discuss a profession that I'm not one. But common sense also tells you that you can reason. If somebody is talking, you can reason. But it's painful because some patriotic peoples, I saw 1 or 2 senators there who left everything they were doing to come to the Supreme Court with some hope. Because if you listen to the judgment of the appeal court, it was fundamentally very literate, accommodating on every aspect of it. So people were very hopeful that the appeal court would uphold the judgment of the Court of Appeal. The Supreme Court will uphold the judgment of the Court of Appeal, and that would have been a case done for. But unfortunately, because if you were in the Supreme Court, like I was, we were there as early as 8:30 in the morning. And when he started running this judgment, on every aspect of that case, he condemned it. The Supreme Court condemned the federal government of Nigeria. In fact, they used the word illegality not less than 20 times. The killing of people at Nnamdi Kanu's father's compound, they even named the number of people killed, the rendition from Kenya, how he was kidnapped. I mean, it was difficult to believe that after condemning the security services for unauthorized and unorthodox behavior, kidnapping Nigerians and killing people anyhow, I have never seen a court with that kind of finality in terms of condemning public officers who were working for government, telling them, you don't take the laws into your hands, only to finally, because they said they disagreed with the appeal court, that the lower court had no jurisdiction. It was the basis of what they are doing, that they should now go back to that court because it has jurisdiction to hear the case in the first place. That's what someone left. So if Nnamdi Kanu dies, after all this illegality, what case are they going to hear? This boy has been under detention for how many years now? Even the Supreme Court was asking all these questions too. The illegality that has been meted against him, and yet they say we'll go back again to the Federal High Court, where we then will start begging for bail. Even condemned the government, that court, for revoking his bail. That was the exact statement of the Supreme Court. So you don't even know the basis of their final decision. So when people say that there is a judicial rascality in this country, you cannot but agree with those people, because unless it affects you, you won't appreciate why they said so. Because when you at the whole Supreme Court, everybody bent his face down